Hello students, today's first question is, in the figure above, is the area of triangular region ADE equal to the area of rectangular region ABCD? So we have been given a right triangle, as this angle has been denoted by right angle, and there is a rectangle sharing a common side AD, and this is rectangle, and this is E, X and Y. Now area of this right triangle will be equal to 1 by 2 multiplied by base, which is ED, multiplied by AD, which is perpendicular, and area of this rectangle will be equal to DC into AD. So AD and AD gets cancelled because area of rectangle is length into breadth. So 1 by 2 ED is basically X, and this is DC is Y. So basically we need to find that whether 1 by 2 X is equal to Y. If this is true, then your answer is yes, the area of this triangle is equal to this rectangle. Now moving to statement 1. Statement 1 gives us that X is equal to 10 and Y is equal to 5. Now we have to prove that 1 by 2 of X is equal to Y. So that means 1 by 2 of 10, which is equal to 5, is equal to Y, which has value 5. So this statement is sufficient to answer this question. So till now we will say that statement A is sufficient. Now if statement 2 is also sufficient to answer, then we will mark option D as the right answer, that both the statements individually are sufficient. Now statement 2 says that X is equal to 2Y. Now what does that mean? That means if I shift 2 to other side, so this becomes 1 by 2 of X equal to Y. So this itself what we want to prove that this area of this triangle is equal to area of this rectangle. So this is also sufficient. So now when both the statements are sufficient, A and B both are sufficient, then we say statement D is the right answer, that both the statements are sufficient to answer individually. Both the statements are sufficient to answer this question. Last year, publisher X published 1100 books consisting of first editions, revised editions and reprints. How many first editions did publisher X publish last year? So we can say, let us suppose the number of first editions published be equal to A, plus revised edition be equal to B, and reprints be equal to C. So A plus B plus C should be equal to 1100, right? And we have been asked how many first editions, so that means we need to find the value of A, right? Now moving to statement 1. Statement 1 says the number of first edition published was 50, more than twice the number of reprints published. So basically it gives us that number of first editions published were A, that is 50 more than twice the number. So we have let reprints to be C, so that is twice. So A is equal to 50 plus 2C. Now we have two equations, A plus B plus C equal to 1100 and A is equal to 50 plus 2C. So this basically becomes 50, if I put the value of 50 A in terms of 2C, so this becomes plus B plus C equal to 1100. So what does this imply? This implies 3C plus B is equal to, if I shift 50 to the other side, this becomes 1050. Still I don't nothing about the values of C and B, so I can find, if I know the value of C, I can find the value of A. So statement A is not sufficient to answer my question. Now moving to statement 2. Now, statement 2 says the number of revised editions, that is it is talking of this, because we have assumed this to be revised editions, was half the number of reprints published. So that means reprints are C. So that means B is given equal to 1 by 2 C. Or I can say that twice of B is equal to C. Now again, we have for alone statement 2, we have supporting from here. We can't use anything from statement 1. So other statement which we haven't given is A plus B plus C is equal to 1100. So that means 2B is equal to C. So I can write this A plus B plus, in place of C I can write 2B. So this is equal to 1100, or this implies that A plus 3B is equal to 1100. So now since we don't know the value of B, we can't find the value of A. So statement B is also not sufficient, which makes statement D also not sufficient, that both the statements individually are sufficient. Now we'll try for statement C, which says when we combine statement 1 and 2, what is the outcome? Now from statement 1 we come to know that 3C plus B is equal to 1050, right? And A plus 3B is equal to 1100, right? Now see, another thing what we have been given is A plus B plus C is equal to 1100. Right? Now A plus B plus C is equal to 1100 and A is equal to 50 plus 2C and 2B is equal to C. So if I substitute this value over here, I would be getting 50 plus 2c in place of A plus B is equal to 1 by 2c. So I can write 1 by 2 of c plus I will be writing c equal to 1100. Now taking LCM, I will be having 2, here I will be having 100 plus 4c plus c plus 2c equal to 1100. So from this what I get is 4c, 5c, 7c. 7c equal to 2200 minus 100, or I can say 7c is equal to 2100, which gives me c equal to 300. Right? Now c is 300, then b will be equal to 150. So that means I can find the value by combining. So we have already established over here that statement C, that the combining statements 1 and 2, the question can be solved. So correct option is C, but we are solving it for the sake of question. Now A is equal to 50 plus twice of C, right? So twice of C is 600, right? So A will be equal to 650. Now you can check all the givens which I am given. 650 plus 150 is 800, 800 plus 300 is 1100, which was originally the total number of, right? So whenever you are able to find that there are 3 variables and we have 3 equations, 1, 2 and 3, so we'll be easily able to find this. So we can mark the statement. So we don't need to find the answer basically in statement data sufficiency questions. So right option for this is option C. How old is J? So nothing has been given in the main statement, so we can just assume that J is the present age of, let us suppose, let J be present age of J, right? So nothing else has been given in the statement. So statement 1 says 10 years ago she was 1/3 as old as she is now. So 10 years ago the age of Jane will be J minus 10, and this is related to present age by 1/3. So J minus 10 will be equal to 1 by 3 of J. Now this is a equation having only one variable which can be easily solved. So we can say that statement A is sufficient to answer this question. If you want, for the sake of question, I will solve it. So shifting 3 to this side, I will be getting 3j minus 30 equal to j. So shifting j to this side, I will be getting 3j minus j equal to 30, or I can say 2j is equal to 30. This implies j is equal to 15. So present age of genes is 15 years. So statement A is sufficient. You can just, by looking at this equation, that this is a single equation having one variable, it can be easily solved. You can mark option A. Now moving to statement 2. Statement 2 says in 15 years she will be twice as old as she is now. So that means 15 years from now Jane's age will be j plus 15, which will be equal to twice of j. Now shifting j to this side, I will be getting simply j equal to 15 years. So this statement is also sufficient to answer this question, right? So we will say that statement D is the right option, that both the statements individually are sufficient to answer this question. What was the population of city X in 2002? So nothing else has been given to us. We need to find the population of city X in 2002, right? Now moving to statement 1. Statement 1 says X population in 2002 increased by 2% or 20,000 people over 2001. So what does that mean? We need to decode this statement. So let us suppose, now it has been given with the comparison with year 2001. So if I suppose that in year 2001 the population was P1 and year 2002 population was P2, right? Now it says that X population in 2002 increased by 2%. 2% by what? By comparison to P1. So that is basically referring to P2 minus P1. So it increased in year, so population, so this says that P1 is less than P2, fine. So P2 minus P1 increased with comparison to population in the year 2001, so P1. So this percentage has been given to us equal to 0.02. So 2% is 2 by 100, which is equal to 0.02. Right? Now this implies P2 minus P1 is equal to 0.02 P1. Right? Now there is one more thing in this statement which has been given. X population 2002 increased by 2% or 20,000 people over 2001. So or 20,000 people means that P2 minus P1 is 20,000. So I can write 20,000 equal to 0.02 P1. Right? Now from here I can calculate the value of P1, and if I have calculated the value of P1, I can just put it in this and find the value of, because P1 will be equal to P2 plus P1 plus 20,000 will be equal to P2. So now we can say that statement 1 is sufficient to answer this question. For the sake of question, I will solve this. Now P1 becomes 20,000 divided by 2 into 100. Right? So this becomes basically 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 followed by 4 zeros. So basically P1 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 unit tens, 100, 1000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh. Right? Now I need to find the population in year 2002. So for that I know that P1 plus 20,000 is equal to P2. So now by putting the value of P1 equal to this over here, I can find the value of P2. So I can say statement 1 is sufficient. Now moving to statement 2. Statement 2 says in 2001 X population was this, right? So it simply says that P1 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 unit, tens, 100,000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh, right? So this you can't confuse and put this into this, right? So this is provided by, this information is provided by statement 1. So statement 2 is simply saying that the population in the year 2001 of city X was this, right? So this gives us nothing, no information about the population of the year city X in year 2002. This is the population for year 2001. So right option for this will be option A. That statement 1 alone is sufficient to answer the question. What is the perimeter of triangle ABC? So we need to find perimeter of triangle ABC. So for this we need the sides AB, BC and CA. Now moving to statement 1. Statement 1 says that AB is equal to 16A. So this is 16, right, with reference to statement 1. But we don't know the value of BC or AC, so we can't find the perimeter. So statement 1 is not sufficient to answer this question. Now statement 2 says that triangle ABC is equilateral, right? So that means AB is equal to BC is equal to CA. But again we must know the value for this to know the perimeter. So statement 2 is also not sufficient alone to answer this question. So this means statement D will also be not sufficient. So now combining statements 1 and 2, looking for option C. So it says AB is equal to 16 and AB is equal to BC is equal to CA. That is, this is equilateral. So perimeter now can be calculated, which is equal to perimeter of triangle ABC will be equal to 3 into 16, which is 48 inches. So with the help of both the statements we can solve this question. So right option is option C. Both the statements combined are sufficient to answer this question. In the figure above, is the shaded region a square region? So we have been given two figures in which the area which is overlapping is, we have to find whether it is a square region or not, right? Now let us move to the statement. So first statement says A, B, C, D and E, F, G, H. So that means A, B, C, D and E, F, G, H are squares. So even though we are this information doesn't help us to find that whether this is overlapping shaded region is a square, because it can be overlapped like this also, or it can be overlapped in a way that it must be a square. So statement 1 is not sufficient to answer this question. Now what does statement 2 say? Statement 2 says, now this is A, B, C, D. This is E, F, G, H. Right? Now statement 2 says that BC is equal to EF. Right? So it says that BC is equal to EF. So this also doesn't solve any of our question that this, let us suppose this is I and J. So we need to find EIDJ is a square or not. So this doesn't help even. So option D is also not in our case. So now we will see option C, that statement 1 and 2 combined solve our question or not. So statement 1 plus 2 combined. So this says that these two are squares and BC is equal to EF means that these are two equal squares, even though we are not able to find that whether this portion, shaded portion, is a square or not. So for this we will go with the option E, that statement, both the statements combined still are not sufficient to answer this question. P is a particle on the circle shown above. What is the length of the path traveled by P in one complete revolution around the circle? So this is a circle given and a point P. We need to find the whole path, length of the path traveled by P in one complete revolution. So basically, if I suppose that the radius of this is R, so I need to find the circumference, or in terms of diameter I need to find pi d, right? Because d is equal to 2r. Now moving to statement 1. Statement 1 says the diameter of the circle is 1.5 meters. So diameter has been given to us, so pi multiplied by 1.5 will give us the length of path or circumference which we need to find. So I can say that statement 1 is sufficient to answer this question. Now moving to statement 2. Statement 2 says that a particle moves in a clockwise direction. So in this direction at 0.5. So this has given us speed, that the speed of its moving is this. But this doesn't help us in finding the length of the path. So the statement 2 is not sufficient. So for this question, the right option will be statement A. That statement 1 is alone sufficient to answer this question. The figure above shows the floor plan and inside dimensions of the ground level of a building. If all lines that intersect meet at right angles, what is the total floor area of this level of the building? So we have been given a figure. Let's draw this figure first. So this is somewhat like this. So this is 20 meters, right? This is 9 meters. So from here up to 13 meters, and then a certain price. Then this is PQ, QR, and then like this. So this is 7 meters, right? This is 4 meters, and this is 13 meters, right? And this is PQR. So let us suppose the other dimensions be. Let us draw the figure like this here, like. Right. So let the dimensions be A, this point B, C, D, E, F, so G. Let this point be G. Now we need to find the area of this building. So if I suppose that CD multiplied by AC, so this will be the whole area AC multiplied by CD, and I know CD is equal to 20 and AC will be equal to, so that is not given, so that will be BC plus AB, right? So AC is not given to us. Now from this, if I subtract AP multiplied by PB, so this area will be cancelled out, so AP multiplied by AB minus this area, which is QF multiplied by QR. So this will give us the area of this floor plan, right? Now moving to statement 1, right? So here I can put some values also with the, so this is AC multiplied by 20 minus AP into AB, no dimension is given to us for this, minus QF is 4, QF multiplied by QR, right? Now moving to statement 1. Statement 1 gives us QR equal to 4. Statement, with the help of statement 1, I am able to find QR, which is equal to 4. If this is 4 meters, right? So this whole length will be 11 meters, right? So FD will be equal to 7 plus 4 equal to 11 meters. Now, if this whole AC becomes 11 meter, right? Now AP is 13 meters, and from this I can find, this is AB. So if the whole is AC is 11, right? So I can find the value of AB. So this implies that AC into 20 for statement 1, this becomes, AC becomes 11, so this will be 20.11 minus AP is 13 dot AB is 11 minus 9, 2 minus 4, QR has been given to us as 4. So we can answer this question. So statement A is sufficient to answer this question, right? If you want, we can calculate it for the sake of question. So this will be 220 minus 26 minus 16. So this will be further equal to 220 minus 3242. So this will be 178 meters square, right? Now moving to statement 2. Statement 2 says that PQ is less than QR. So with the help of this, we can't find anything else, the dimensions which we need to find. So we have simply given PQ is less than QR. So we don't know the exact dimensions. So we can say that statement 2 is not sufficient to answer this question. For this, the right option will be that statement A is sufficient to answer the question. The figure above shows the top of a circular cake with a slice removed. So this is the slide. RPS slice has been removed. The shaded region on the top of the cake is the remaining part of the circular decoration that was centered on the cake. What is the area of the shaded region? So we need to find the area of the shaded region. Now moving to statement 1. P was the center of the top of the cake before the slice was removed, and the angle of the slice is, angle RPS is 60 degrees. So this angle is RPS is 60 degree, whose slice has been removed. So we can find the area of this sector by using the formula pi r square theta by 360 degree, where this RPS angle is 60 degrees. So this will become pi r square by 6, right? So this is what has been removed. Now the remaining area will be equal to 1 minus pi r square by 6. So that will be 5 pi r square divided by 6, fine. So this is the area which has been left after removing the slice. Now, but we don't know this width, and we don't know even the radius. So with the help of radius, we can find this whole area, but we are not able to find this area until unless we know this distance. So statement 1 is not sufficient to answer this question. Now statement 2. Statement 2 says that PR is equal to PS is equal to 11 centimeter. So this alone gives us that the radius of this cake is PR is equal to, both are radius, so this is equal to 11 centimeters. But with the help of this, we are not able to find the area of the shaded region, so this is also not sufficient. Now we'll move to statement C, which says combining statement 1 and 2, what we will get. So first we will be getting 5 by 6 pi r square, and with the help of this I can put the value of r equal to this. So when I find this area will be equal to the whole area, which is shaded area plus this area, but we are not able to find the area, shaded area again. right? So with the given information, statements 1 and 2 are also not sufficient. So we will say that both the statements are not sufficient to answer this question. Statement is the right answer. If three straight lines intersect at a point as shown in the figure above, what is the value of x? So let us first draw this figure. It has been given that these are straight lines and they intersect at a point, right? This has been given us to us as z degree, this is y degree, and this is x degree. So we need to find the value of x. Now from the figure we can see that if three lines have intersecting at one point, so this will be equal to x degree. This is vertically opposite angles. This will be y degree and this is z degree. So we can write that twice of z degree plus twice of x degree plus twice of y degree. So total measure of angle made at a point is 360 degree, or taking 2 common, I can write x degree plus y degree plus z degree is equal to 360 degree. So x plus y plus z is equal to 180 degree. So this information has been provided to us. Right? Now moving to statement 1. Statement 1 says that x is equal to y is equal to z. So when x is equal to y equal to z, so I can put in place of y and z, I can put the value x. So this means thrice x is equal to 180 degree. So this implies x will be equal to 60 degree. So we are able to find the value of x from this, right? So statement A is sufficient to answer this question. Now moving to statement 2. Statement 2 gives us that z is equal to 60 degree, right? Now with the help of this, I can write that x plus y plus 60 is equal to 180 degree, which further implies that x plus y should be equal to 120 degree. But we can't further find the value of x, so I can say that statement 2 is not sufficient to answer the question. For this we will say that statement 1 is alone sufficient to answer this question. What is the distance between city A and city C? So nothing more has been given in the main statement, so we'll directly move to statement 1. Statement 1 says the distance between city A and city B is 75 kilometers. So distance between A and B has been given to be 75 kilometers. So this doesn't solve our problem, that distance between A and C, which we need to find. So statement 1 is not sufficient to answer this question. Now statement 2 says that the distance between city B and city C, so it says that distance between city B and city C is 135 kilometers. So this also doesn't solve the problem that the distance between A and C is not known to us. So statement 2 is also not sufficient, so which means D is also not sufficient. Now we'll look for statement C, which says combining statement 1 and 2. Now it says statement 1 says that distance between A and B is 75 kilometers, and between B and C, that is 135 kilometers. So we need to find the distance between this, right? Now we can provide just a range just because we don't know the angle. If there is a case that these all cities lie on a straight line, then we can add the distance and we can just give the answer that 135 plus 75 is the distance between between city A and C. So this is 140 plus 70, 210 kilometers. But this is not the case. So we don't know the positioning of the cities A and C. So for this, by combining also, we are not able to solve this question. So we will say that statement E is the right option, that both the statements are still not sufficient to answer this question. What is the area in square meters of the building plot shown in the figure above? So we'll first draw the figure. So here these are all right angles. So the figure is somewhat like this, right? So this is 90 degree, this is 90 degree. J, K, L is over here. This is 90, this is 90, this is 90. So 90. So this is M, N, P. Right? Now we need to find the area of this figure. Moving to statement 1. Statement 1 says Km. So Km is equal to MP. So we have been given with the statement 1, Km is equal to MP is equal to 30 meters. So with the help of this, we can't find the area of this, as we don't know that is J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S. So we don't know the width JS, right? So statement 1 is not sufficient to answer this question. Now, moving to statement 2. So statement 2 says JK is equal to KL. So these are equal to LM. So this is equal to MN equal to NP. So all these are equal. MN equal to NP equal to 15 meter. Right? Now if you take a close look, so JK plus KL plus LM will be equal to 45. Right? So MN is basically JS. So 45 multiplied by 15 will give the area of this figure. JSNM. Now we need to find the area of RQPN. So we have been given NP equal to 15, and from this LM is equal to QP. So this will be equal to 15 into 15. So this is the area of NRQP. NRQP. Right? So that means we are able to find the area. We can calculate this area. So statement 2 is sufficient to answer this question. So we will say statement B is alone. Statement 2 alone is sufficient to answer the question. Right? What is the median of the 9 consecutive even integers in a certain list? So basically we have been given that there are 9 consecutive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and these are consecutive even integers. So this is what has been given in the main statement. We need to find the median. So since there are 9 terms, and for median of all terms we know that the center term is the median. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this the term which will fall in on this will be, so 4 terms over here, 4 terms on the left. So fifth term will be the median. Right? Now moving to statement 1. The median of the integers in the list is greater than 0. So we have been given that the median is greater than 0, and we have to keep the condition that these are consecutive even integers. So let us try to build a list of consecutive even integers. So if I write 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 16 and 18. Right? So these are all consecutive even integers, right? And the median will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So median is 10, which is greater than 0. So statement 1 is satisfied. Now for this I will say that the median is 10. But if I construct another list containing -4, -2, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, even though the median is 4, which is greater than 0. So I can't specifically say what is the median. So statement 1 is not sufficient to answer this question. Now moving to statement 2. Statement 2 says of the integers in the list, the sum of the least of the negative integers and the least of the positive integers is -4. So for this we need to understand the number line. So least of the negative integers, which I don't know, the least of the negative integer will fall on the extreme left, right? But least of the positive integer, so I know the least of the positive integer is 2. So I can write that least of negative integer is still not known to me, but least of, let us suppose this to be x, and least of positive integer which has to be even, right? So this is the basic condition given the main, that this is even, so that has to be 2. So sum of this has been given to be -4. So I can write that x plus 2 is equal to -4, or I can say that x is equal to -4 minus 2, which is equal to -6. So from this, if I get the if I find the value of -6, this means that the list will start from -6. So -6, then -4, then -2, then 0, then 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the median will be 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth term. So median is 2. So I can say discretely that the median is 2. Right? So statement 2 is sufficient to answer my question. So I will mark off statement B. Statement 2 alone is sufficient to answer the question. The heart-shaped decoration shown in the figure above consists of a sphere and 2 semicircles. What is the radius of each semicircle? So sphere has been drawn like this. So here is one semicircle and second semicircle is like. So let us suppose this is the radius r. Since this is a sphere, so this side will be equal, all the sides will be equal. So A, B, C, D. Let us suppose r be the radius of 2 semicircles. So this will be also r and this will be r. So length of the sphere or side AB equal to BC equal to CD equal to DA will be equal to 2r. Right? So any of the statement which gives us the value of r is sufficient to answer the question. Now moving to statement 1. Statement 1 says the diagonal of the sphere is 10 root 2 centimeters. So this is basically 10 root 2 centimeter. Now statement 1 says diagonal is equal to 10 root 2 centimeter. Now this is 2r and this is 2r and this is 90 degrees. So applying Pythagoras, so we can have AD square plus DC square is equal to 10 root 2 whole square. Now this is 2r whole square plus 2r whole square equal to 100 into 2, 200. So this will be 4r square plus 4r square, 8r square equal to 200. So this means r square is equal to 200 by 8. Right? So this implies further that r square is equal to 25, because 25 into 8 is 200. So this implies r is 5. So from here also we can calculate that we just needed the value of 2r or r And we know that diagonal of a square, length of the diagonal is always equal to root 2 into a, where a is the side of the square. So this was, I solved this for question purpose. So statement 1 is sufficient to answer this question. Sufficient. Now statement 2. Statement 2 says the area of the square region, minus the sum of the areas of semicircular regions is 100 minus 25 pi. So what does that mean? The area of the square region. So area of the square region will be equal to side square. That side is 2r. So 2r square represents 4r square. So 4r square minus the sum of areas of semicircular regions. So both these areas. So area of one semicircle area is pi r square by 2 plus this is semicircle 1, semicircle 2. So pi r square by 2. So this will be equal to 2 by 2 pi r square. 2 pi r square by, so this is equal to pi r square. So we have been given that 4r square minus pi r square is equal to 100 minus 25 pi. Right? Now, if I take, so this is 4r square minus pi r square. So if I take r square common, I will be getting 4 minus pi. Here I can take 25 common and I will be getting 4 minus pi. Right? So from here, 4 minus pi gets cancelled and I will be having r square equal to 25, which means r is 5. So this statement is also sufficient to answer this question. So for this, option will be option D, that both the statements individually are able to solve the question. Okay? Thank you for lecture. If you are seriously preparing for these competitive exams, you must study 8th, 9th, 10th NCERT maths book. These can be easily downloaded from NCERT website, chapter wise or complete book, and you have to read between exercises to make your concepts strong between exercises. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.